First of all, good morning to everyone, and I would like to express my heartfelt thanks for registering to this webinar. Okay, regarding Scopus indexing guidelines. Um, First of all, we'll see what is Scopus. Okay, Scopus is Elsewhere's abstract and citation database launched in 2004. Okay, the Scopus launched in 2004, and it is the own product of Elsewhere publication. Okay, and Scopus covers nearly 39,743 titles. It is based on 2018 data. 2019 they released in the month of October 2019. Okay, up to 2018 year they covered these many titles, and 25,185 active titles are there, and 14,558 inactive titles are there. Inactive titles means uh, these titles, these journals were there in Scopus and they discontinued. Okay, as of now they are not in Scopus, but once upon a time those titles are in Scopus. Okay, these all 39,743 titles are from approximately 12,170 publishers. Okay, Scopus. What type of resources covered by Scopus? Book series, journals, trade journals, conference papers. These four types of sources or different types of publications covered by Scopus. Okay, and once the journal is indexed in Scopus, what type of data and what type of things it will give? Okay, H index it will give for each and every journal, and site score SJR SkyMago journal ranking it will give, SNIP source normalized impact per paper it will give. These four uh, quantitative measurements, or you can say some uh, statistics it will give. Okay, 2004 to 2008. Okay, there is no content selection and advisory board in Scopus. Okay, in 2009 they started content selection and advisory board. Okay, every journal submitted to Scopus will go through formal qualitative and quantitative evaluation process. Okay, and one more thing, the content selection and advisory board continuously reviews all the journals. They review every journal every year. Okay, qualitatively and quantitatively. The quality of the content as well as the how many papers are publishing, how many citations they are getting, all those things. Sir, can you please mute yourself? Okay. Continuously, every year, Scopus evaluate the every journal every year. If any quality or quality is decreasing in the journal or the number of citations are decreasing, they will discontinue. Okay. Now, what are the advantages of Scopus? Maybe these points may be knowing by everyone, okay, but still I need to explain. So increase the visibility of your publications. If you index in Scopus or any other reputed indexing databases, the visibility will increase. Okay, so for the journal the visibility is very very much important. Okay, the basically why the research papers are published in the journal. Okay, some scientist or research scholar or professor, they are doing the research in their respective fields. Okay, so they want to show I am doing some research. Okay, so that's why they will publish the research papers in journals and conferences. In the same way, the publisher has to index their published papers in different indexing websites, indexing organizations. So the advantage is the visibility will increase for the journal as well as the visibility increase for the author's work, and the research work will reach to uh, worldwide. Okay, so the global audience give access to global audience. This Scopus or any indexing website, it will give the access to global audience, researchers and experts in the same research field. For example, if a journal publishing in medical sciences, public health, or something like that, the research or whatever the research papers are publishing in the journal, it will be visible to global audience, and the journal also visible to global audience, and track the performance of your publications. You can get the site score, H index, SJR, journal, SkyMago journal ranking, and SNIP. These values you will get for your journal once your journal is indexed in Scopus. So you can track the performance of your journal, how many citations you are getting, all those things, and monitor competitive publications. Okay, for example, if you are publishing a journal in public health, maybe other journals, how other journals are doing, you can see once it is indexed in Scopus. Okay, I will show you. Okay, 1 minute. This is the website, SkyMago Journal Ranking. Here you can enter the any journal name to search, and you can know the journal ranking by subject wise also. Okay, here all subject areas, different this is broad areas, and after selecting this in medicine, I'm just taking the example, sir. Okay, you please go through your respective subject, which on which subject your journal is publishing. Okay, public health. Here you can see total number of journals, 530. Worldwide, 530 journals in this particular subject are indexed in Scopus. And this is the SGR ranking, 10.389 and 6.416, 5.493. This is the journal SkyMago journal ranking, and this is the H index for this particular journal. Okay, so for example, your journal is there in Scopus. You can see all these values, and you can monitor yourself how your journal is performing, and also in the same subject field you can see how other journals are doing, and how to uh, you can compare the journals. Okay, your competitive journals. That is advantage by indexing in Scopus. Okay, fine. Till now we have spoken about Scopus and what are the advantages. Now, what is the selection criteria once we submit a journal? Okay, so I will explain. There are the selection criteria divided into two stages. One is pre-submission and self-evaluation. Before submitting a journal, we need to do self-evaluation. Okay, there are many guidelines by Scopus. We need to do self-evaluation before submitting the journal. And second stage is Scopus title evaluation, submission process, and review decision by content selection and advisory board. Okay, in stage one, pre-submission and self-evaluation. Okay, these are the guidelines from Scopus. Okay, the journal has minimum 2 years of publication history. It is clearly mentioned in Scopus guidelines. 2 years of publication history means 2 complete years. For example, if I'm taking my name as an example, if I start my journal in the month of May, okay, to 2020 and 21, if I complete 2020 and 21, no, it's not. Okay, I have to complete 2 years of publication of my journal, then only I can submit my journal for evaluation. Okay, so it is not 2 volumes, 2020 and 21. I can submit in 2022 January. No, it's not like that. If I start in the month of May till April, I have to complete the publications. 2 years, 2 years of publication history. I have to complete that, and in the month of May to 2022 only I can submit the journal. Okay, and journal has a unique title. Journal should have a unique title, and it should not be identical as already indexed in Scopus. Okay, it should not be same similar like same name or something like that. Maybe some journals, definitely some journals will be having the same name. It should not be same name. Okay, you can download all the list of journals and you can check your journal name is similar to Scopus Index journal or not. Okay, I will show you how to download all the journals from Scopus. Okay, the journal should be peer reviewed journal. Okay, and there are different types of peer reviews. I will explain what Scopus is considering. Okay, abstract, title, and keywords are in English. Okay, authors in Roman script. Roman script is nothing but English literature. Okay, so abstracts, titles, and keywords are in English. For example, if any journal is publishing in different language, okay, so minimum titles of the research paper, title of the research paper, abstract of the research paper, keywords, and references. References also should be in English. Okay, these, if you take care of these four things, if your journal is in different language also, you can index in Scopus. There are 40 different language journals are indexed in Scopus. Okay, and references are presented in Roman script. Roman script is nothing but English language, our A to Z, okay, letters, alphabets. Okay, and coming to references, I want to give one more information. References. Coming to references, the journal should follow any one type of referencing style. That is APA or MLA format or Chicago format. There are many types. Harvard format is there. All those things depends upon your journal subject, and based on your journal subject, what is the referencing style you need to follow. Select that and please follow for all the references same style. Okay, for some references in within single research paper, don't follow APA referencing style for some references and MLA referencing style for some references and Chicago referencing style for some references. Don't follow like that. Not only within the article, for every article, if you uh, decide, your editorial board members and all the advisory board members uh, decide one format, one referencing style, and please follow only one format. That is very much important for references. Okay, journal published regularly as per the publishing schedule, which is available at journal's website. Okay, there is a frequency like monthly, bi-monthly, quarterly, three issues per year, half yearly and yearly, and once in 2 years. These are the frequencies available. Most of the journals. Okay, mostly it will come like monthly, bi-monthly, quarterly, and 3 issues per year or half yearly. Most of the journals are like this, and once in a year and once in 2 years are very rare journals. Okay, so you need to publish a issue in the defined frequency as per the journal, as mentioned in the journal website. For example, if it is a quarterly journal, every quarter you need to publish one issue. You should not combine any issues. For example, sometimes the journals may not get enough number of papers, so they will combine issue 3 and issue 4. If it is a quarterly journal, they will combine issue 3 and issue 4. Two papers in issue 3 and two papers or three papers in issue 4. They will combine and they will publish as one issue uh, like volume 6, issue 3 and 4, maybe something like that they may publish. Okay, for print version to maybe if the journal is running by some association or some college or some publisher, anything. Okay, so for print uh, point of view, you can combine the issues, but online point of view, don't combine the issues. If you did, for example, if you did already, please separate those things. Okay, for Scopus indexing. Next point is, it is very important. Ethics and malpractice statement is available in English at journal's website. Okay, ethics and malpractice statement should be available in English at the journal's website. Okay, so what is ethics and malpractice statement? Okay, it is mainly which states how the journal is functioning. Okay, and equality of all articles or authors. Okay, there is no bias, and between editorial team or journal reviewers, as well as authors, articles, and confidentiality is very important. Whatever the review process you are following, confidentiality is very much important. And publication fraud is, you may heard of predatory journals. Okay, simply they will receive the papers from authors, and within a day or within 2 days or 3 days they will send the acceptance, and they will collect money from the authors without doing any review, all those things. Okay, uh, these type of things. Okay, publication fraud and virginality and plagiarism. For every research paper, you need to check the plagiarism. Is the article is virginally written by the that particular author or not? Okay, these things you need to follow. Okay, coming to other points here, the editor and editorial board, they should be recognized experts in the field. Everything you need to mention in ethics and malpractice statement, from about editors, editorial board members. Some journals are maintaining a reviewer guidelines, author guidelines, like this. Even though if you are maintaining separately, all the details should be in ethics and malpractice statement. Okay, one by one. What is the editor role? What is the reviewer role? What is the author role? How to submit a research paper? What are the guidelines? What is the format of the paper? All the details should be there. And here, COPE. Okay, this is the Organization for Publication Ethics. Okay, you can go through this website, and you will get a lot of flowcharts and lot of information about publication ethics. Okay, so it's better to have a information in the journal website, text format as well as flowchart format. If it is a flowchart format, the authors or reviewers will understand easily. Okay, what is the process? First of all, if the paper received by a reviewer, what he has to do? If it is accepted, after reviewing, to whom he has to inform. If it is rejected, to whom he has to inform, or to whom he has to send the comments. Just I am giving one example. Okay, so like this, you try to include all the information related to reviewer guidelines or editor guidelines. What is the editor roles? Um, all those things. Okay, so you can go through this website, and also in the next slides I have given additional resources for publication ethics, and as well as some guides for editors, which is from Elsevier. Okay, you can go through those things also. Okay, and editorial board members, their full names, affiliations of the editorial board members, and their roles in this particular editorial board. Yes.
Hello, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Yes, ma'am. Tell me. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
You're not audible. Voice is cracking in between. Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, yes.
Your voice is breaking. You're not audible in between the screens.
1 minute, ma'am. For others, I am audible for others.
Yes,
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 it's audible.
properly.
It's audible. It's fine.
Clearly
Yes,
audible.
you are audible.
You're audible.
It is still audible, sir. You are audible. Audible. Very clear.
Okay.
Very clear.
Ma'am, I request you to check the technical issues from your side. Most of the people are audible clearly. Okay. I am muting all.
So you're audible right now. You were not audible in the last two slides. Hello?
Okay, ma'am. I will explain again. I will explain again after completing this session. Again, I will explain one more time. Okay, don't
Okay.
worry about that. Okay. Wherever you missed
Okay.
a particular topic, I will explain again. Okay. The editorial board members' full names, their affiliations, and their roles. Who is he? He is a editor or editor in chief or assistant editor in chief, assistant editors, or advisory board. You need to define their roles. And most of the predatory journals, okay, we can see just editorial board, and there will be lot of names. Okay, maybe the editorial board members' names will be there and their affiliations will be there, but there is no roles assigned to that particular editorial board members. Okay, please look into this issue. Okay, so and contact information of the editorial office on the journal's website. Okay, you have normally in contact us page, you have given the office address and mail id and phone number. Okay, these are the details in the editorial board page also. Okay, please mention your editorial office address, and if it is any email address, separate email address is available, please mention in that page, editorial board page, and phone number also. If the phone number is available, please mention there in the editorial board page also. Okay, all following aspects of authors and their responsibilities. Okay, for authors, we need to give clear information as per Scopus guidelines. If any fees or charges required for manuscript processing. Okay, if any charges, publication charges, article processing charges, there are different names. The publishers following different names. Okay, if you are charging any charges for publication, you please mention. If you are not charging and um, publishing for free of cost, please mention that also. But the author should be very clear. And one thing you should not mention that there is no publication fees, only article processing fees are there. Don't confuse like that. Okay, so if any fees are there, mention clearly what is that. Okay, publication fees, one heading publication fees, there is no publication fees. One heading is article processing fees. This much is the article processing fees. Don't maintain two. Okay, if you are charging anything, if you name it article processing charges or if you name it as a publication charges, please mention only one thing. Okay, don't confuse the authors. All the authors have significantly contributed to the research. Okay, and maybe some authors are publishing the research paper first time. Okay, if maybe their research work is very good, you can publish those research papers. The all the authors no need to be reputed authors, like they already published 10 papers or 15 papers, they are having more citations. If you select like that and if you publish only their papers, it is good, fine. uh, if you are receiving the papers from the authors who already published only one or two research papers and the research paper is first time, that's fine, you can publish the papers. You make these papers available in different indexing websites. Definitely the author will get more visibility their research for their research work, and the journal also get more visibility by indexing in reputed indexing websites. Okay, all authors are obliged to provide the retractions or corrections of mistakes in case of detection. For example, in research or in any experiment, the author's view may be different, and main the research work or the flow of the research work may be different. Okay, so if anything, if the authors or did any mistake or something like that, they have to agree for that. If in case of detection by the experts, not with the everybody. For example, if not everybody means if there is a correctness or if it is confirmed that this particular research work is wrong, they have to agree. Okay, that is very important. Please mention that point also in your author guidelines. Okay, list of references should be provided by the authors. Definitely it is provided by the author, but they mentioned this is also one of the point in Scopus guidelines. Okay, as I told you previously, references, you please follow one referencing style for the journal, and please continue that for every reference. Okay, if it is a APA style for journal, book, uh, the author will give different references, right? Journals, books, maybe some websites, all those things for everything. In, for example, if you are following APA style, please follow the APA style only for all the different sources. Okay, and information on financial support should be provided by the authors. Okay, if they are taking any financial support from funding from the university, or they're getting funding from any private organization or anything, they have to mention financial support. Okay, financial support also they have to mention. And they should not publish same research paper more than one journal. Okay, you please mention these things also in your author guidelines. Okay, the author published a research paper in your journal, they cannot publish that same research paper in other journal. Okay, so please mention in your author guidelines also. If um, I will tell you the why I am stating this point. Okay, I am stating one point. If any author asks for the permission remove from your journal and I want to publish in other journal, straight away don't give permission like that. Okay, some authors without your knowledge they may publish in other journal. Okay, once in 3 months or once in 6 months, you just check your research papers with the title where anybody is copying or your journal content. For example, like copyright infringements, maybe they are copying your content and publishing, not the same authors, some other authors. For example, I published a research paper and somebody is copying my research paper. Okay, in that case also you can protect your author's content and research work. And also don't give permission, because why I am stating this point is, for example, if the research work is very good, okay, uh, the other journal will get the citations and you will also get the citations. The number of citations may reduce for that particular research paper if you give the permission to publish in other journal. Okay, if I publish a paper in your journal, okay, if I ask you, I want to remove my paper from your journal and I want to publish in other journal, don't give any permission like that. And it is completely from my side, I am just giving some suggestions. Okay, don't give permission to publish along with your journal in other journal. The number of citations will impact of your journal. Okay, so don't give permission like that. Okay, following aspects of peer review process. Okay, all the journals means uh, in Scopus, the journal content should be peer reviewed. Okay, so you can follow different type of peer review. In the next slide or another slide I will explain about different type of peer reviews. Okay, the journal content should be peer reviewed. The articles, all the articles should be peer reviewed. uh, okay, and About peer review also, you mentioned how your type of peer review, what type of peer review you are following in author guidelines or in peer review process. You please mention what type of peer review you are following and how you are following. If it is possible, you please uh, mention in your website in the form of flow charts what happens once the paper is submitted, and after that what is your step, and when it is going to the reviewer, and when after review what will happen to the paper, and after acceptance or rejection what will happen, everything from starting to ending of the paper process. You please mention all the information, and also please uh, if it is possible, please include flowcharts in the peer review process also. Obtaining advice on individual manuscripts from the reviewers. For every manuscript, you please get the advice or review on your for every manuscript. Okay, and reviewer should not have any conflict of interest. For example, if the same research is doing by the reviewer, don't send the same for example, in civil engineering, hash technology will be there. Okay, so in concrete, particularly concrete. Okay, if the reviewer and the author are doing the same type of research, not in civil engineering or hash technology or concrete, I am not mentioning that. Particularly on the same subject, if they are working, don't send that type of that paper to the same that reviewer. Okay, so avoid that, no conflict of interest. And reviewed articles should be treated confidentially prior to their publication. Okay, so if you are following double blind review, author will not be knowing the reviewer name and reviewer will not be knowing the author name. Please treat that as a confidential information prior to their publication. After the publication, definitely the reviewer will come to know who published that paper, but authors will not come to know who reviewed their paper. Okay, and copyright and licensing information is clearly described. If any copyright information or licensing information, please mention clearly in your website. And if your journal is subscription journal, please mention the subscription fees or pay per view or paper or per each paper they can buy, and they can read that particular research paper, or issue wise they can buy, or volume wise full year they can buy. You please mention those charges what you are charging. Okay, and the journal's plan for electronic backup. Okay, for example, the journal should have a electronic backup. Why it is very much important is there are two reasons. If there is any disaster, uh, okay, so we need to keep the data of the journal. And one more thing is, if the journal is not publishing further, okay, for example, the journal is started in 1972, they are publishing from 1972 and till 2020 they published, and they don't want to continue, maybe the uh, different reasons. Okay, they don't want to continue, so you need to keep the research work available for uh, all the audience globally. Okay, so plan for that electronic backup if you don't have that. Okay, information about ownership and management of the journal clearly indicated on the journal's website. If the publishing company is publishing that journal, you have to mention clearly which publishing company is publishing the journals, and if any college is publishing the journal, please mention that. And one more thing, if the college or association or any society is running journals, if you are running one journal or multiple journals, please give the information, same information about the society or association or institution in all journals. Okay, in one journal don't give some information, and in other journal don't give different information. Okay, so if the institution or society or association publishing more number of journals, please give same information in all the journals. Okay, and journal should have ISSN, that is electronic ISSN is must. And if you have language ISSN also, it is okay. And if you have print ISSN, it is okay, but compulsorily you should have online electronic version ISSN number for electronic version, and it is confirmed by International ISSN Center. Okay, normally the ISSN number is issued by the national center, and it will be recorded in the International ISSN center also. You can check your ISSN number in issn.org. Okay, so I think once you get the ISSN number, definitely it will be there in the International ISSN center. Okay, journal has a dedicated website in English. um, if the journal is publishing in different language, maybe other language, okay, so you should have a dedicated website in English. Okay, that is very important. And also along with other local language, you should have English language also. Okay, uh, only journal website, not all the full text of the article. For Scopus indexing, you should have title of the article, abstracts, keywords, and references. These four things should be in English. Remaining other content can be in local language, but journal website, make sure that it is available in English language, author guidelines, all those things. Okay, author instructions should be available in English at journal's website. This is very much important, and most of the journals, every journal will be having this. Okay, aim and scope are available in English. Okay, this is here why they mention these points is these things will be there, but they should mention in English language, not in the local language. That is very much important. And geographical diversity of editors and authors. Okay, so geographical diversity means the editorial board should be diversified, and the editorial board members are from different countries. That is very much required. And also authors. Okay, authors means the research papers should be published from different countries. This is also very much required. And maybe um, in these participants already they submitted their journals for Scopus, and maybe they got two reasons: localized approach and less citations. Maybe these two reasons you may got already if the journal is rejected. Okay, I'm just telling you because some publishers shared the information with me, that's why I'm telling you. Okay, so here the main important thing is you need to diversify your editorial board, and you need to publish research papers from different countries. Okay, from the author should be from different countries. Okay, uh, I will explain how to get these things. Okay, in my last slides. Okay, maybe uh, 5 or 6 slides before the end of this presentation, I will explain how to diversify the editorial board. I will give some tips. Okay, and how to diversify the authors also. And okay, journals documents are cited by Scopus sources. Journal documents is nothing but the published papers should be cited by Scopus sources. Scopus, this is very much important, and I will explain you how to know this, and also how to get more citations. I will explain you at the time of geographical diversity how to diversify the editorial board and authors. In that slide, I will explain you. Please remember this point. Journal documents are nothing but published papers should be cited by the journals indexed in already the journals indexed in Scopus. For example, Censars. Censars is a journal. It is already indexed in Scopus. If any journal is there related to Censars, this journal article should be referred by somebody who is publishing the paper in Censars journal. Okay, so then you will get more visibility, and there is a credibility of the published content, and there is a importance of the published content. So Scopus will consider if the more number of citations by Scopus Scopus indexed journals, then there is a more chances of your journal can be selected for Scopus indexing. This is very important point. These 2 points, geographical diversity and journal papers should be cited by Scopus resources. These 2 points I will explain in one slide. I kept it lost because I kept it in the last because that is my tips from my side. So that's why it is not guidelines of Scopus. Okay, so that's why I kept it lost. Last, I'll explain those things. Okay, journals editors are expert in the subject area covered by the journal. Okay, the editors or editor in chief, the top members of the editorial board should be experts in the subject area. They like some journals we see that just postdoctoral research fellows are editor in chiefs or editors. Okay, so I totally agree. They did their PhD and they are doing postdoctoral. I'm not denying their knowledge is good. Definitely, their knowledge is good, but they should be experts. They are the editors and editor in chief or main top positions of editorial board members should be experts in that subject area. Okay, that is very much important. They should be having more experience and they should publish more number of papers. That is very much important while selecting the editors and editorial board, top editorial board members. And journal should have a DOI number. Journal and every article should have a DOI number to index in Scopus. This is also very much important. And content quality. Okay, consistently publish articles that scientifically sound and relevant to the international academy. That is very much important. This is scientifically sound means like the research should be useful and it should be relevant to the international academy. Okay, not only to the local purpose, it should be useful for international purpose. Okay, or anybody can gain some knowledge from that research. Okay, that is very important. And the content of the articles is consistent with the stated scope and aim of the journal. The content of the article should be limited to the aim and scope of the journal. They should not publish uh, beyond the scope of the journal. Okay, and tables and figures in the articles should be clear and well configured within article content. Okay, the tables and diagrams within the research paper should be very clear and they should fit accordingly, because if the information is somewhere and the diagram is somewhere, for typesetting purpose, if we move the diagram, the reader cannot read properly and there is no use if you move like that diagrams and all. So it should be well configured within the article. That is very much important. And the language and grammar of the article should be good. If you have a language editor, you please ask them to review every article and correct as per the language, English language and grammar. Okay, see, every researcher or every person who is publishing the papers, definitely they may not be experts in English. Okay, so you can from the editorial board, maybe you can appoint some language editor, or you can appoint somebody who can correct the language at the time of publication or before acceptance of the paper. Okay, please try to do that. Okay, this will the paper should be easily readable um, for a reader or for a viewer of the journal. Okay, the abstracts are clear, easily readable, provided an excellent comprehensive summary of the article sufficient length. Okay, the abstract should be comprehensive summary of the article. Okay, it should not be something and the article is something. It should not be like that. What is the article is saying, same thing you need to replicate in the summary, sorry, in the abstract. Okay, and it should be in the sufficient length. It should not be one page or whatever it is. Some journals they maintain 250 words or 300 words, something like that. You define that size, how much maximum size you are allowed. Okay, so maybe it should not be very less. In one sentence they will write abstract in some journals. And some journals, in some research papers, they don't give abstract itself. Very rare. That is, not they don't give abstract. It happens very rarely. But still, try to evaluate the paper in this way also. Abstract should be comprehensive summary of the article. Okay, so this one. And coming to the peer review, why Scopus is mentioning peer reviewed content? Okay, why peer review content means, okay, it to validate the academic work, and helps to improve the quality of published research and increase the networking possibilities within the research communities. If it is a peer reviewed, for example, I am writing a research paper and I submitted one to one journal, and it will go to a particular reviewer, okay, in the same research field. Okay, so if he is not doing, he is expert in that field, but if he is not doing the research in that particular field as of now, okay, maybe his project is different, what he got, and the research paper is little different. Okay, definitely the reviewer will gain some knowledge, and also the published papers. For example, if I am doing research in nanotechnology, I will go through the published papers in that particular journal, and I will gain more knowledge related to nanotechnology. Okay, so this is very much important, and it can build the networking possibilities within the research communities. Okay, and different types of peer reviews. What different types of peer reviews we have? Okay, main editor peer review. It is only main editor will do the peer review, and they will give the response to authors. It is accepted or rejected, uh, can be accepted with minor revisions, can be accepted with major revisions. These four decisions you already know. Okay, main editor peer review, main editor only will take care of the review process, whole review process of the all the articles. Okay, and open peer review, open peer review is nothing but authors will be knowing the reviewer name, and reviewer will be knowing the author names. Okay, it is open review. Okay, that particular review member is reviewing my paper. If I submit any research paper, I will be knowing that somebody is reviewing, and their name and all. And the author also know that uh, no, I submitted the research paper. Okay, and single blind peer review. Single blind peer review means it may be either one of the party will not be knowing the other party names. Okay, in author or reviewer will not be knowing other party name, but one party will be knowing other party name. For example, author may know who is the reviewer, or reviewer may know who are the authors. Okay, anyway, vice versa. Okay, only one party will be knowing other party's name, and other party will not be knowing the this party's name. Okay, that is single blind peer review. And double blind peer review is the reviewer will not be knowing the author names, and authors will not be knowing the reviewers names. Okay, and after going through these documents provided by Scopus, I understood that Scopus is imposing to follow double blind review process. Okay, if you are following any other review process, please try to adopt double blind review process. It is very much important. What is the review process you are following? Also, Scopus will see at the time of evaluation of the journal. Okay, and how important is to know whether a journal is already being cited in Scopus. Okay, it is very much important at the time of submission, in the submission form, or ready for Scopus. In that form, they will ask, do you know your journal articles are cited by Scopus indexed journals? Okay, so how to check this? Okay, with cross reference cited by services, we can check who cited our articles. Okay, based on the journal name, we can see the journal is indexed in Scopus or not. Okay, I will explain you with one article. It is cited by two articles. I'm just checking this journal is available in Scopus or not. Okay, it is this. For this article, there are two citations. Okay, so one article, one journal, it is already indexed in Scopus, and we will check next journal also is indexed in Scopus or not. Okay, it is not indexed in Scopus. So this particular article, whatever the article we searched, the effect of geometric parameters, this article is cited by two articles published by this journal and published by this journal. This journal is already indexed in Scopus. So this particular article is getting the citations from Scopus indexed journals. Okay, so like this you can check in this Scilite website or by cross reference cited by services you can check. Okay, and should all articles be published in English language as well as other language? Okay, as I explained you previously, you can publish the journal in any language, and the full text content in 40 different languages are covered by Scopus. You can publish your research papers in any local language or any language, but the title, abstract, keywords, and references are should be in English. Okay, this is very much important. And what is publication ethics and publication malpractice statement? I explained previously. Okay, the equality for all the articles and authors and by editor or editorial team and journal reviewers. Okay, there should not be any bias while reviewing the paper. If it is, for example, editor or editorial team will take care of the a research paper initially and they will send to the reviewer. At the time, there should not be a bias based on the gender or country or anything. Okay, and confidentiality of the review process and publication fraud. If you should not involve, the journal should not involve in any publication fraud. Okay, and originality and plagiarism, as well as notification what action it would take if this is suspected. For example, you will check the plagiarism checking all those things. Okay, so still it is identified that the author copied this information, and you need to take what action you are going to take. You need to mention that also. Okay, authorship rules and disclosures and conflict of interest. These things also you need to mention in the publication ethics. Uh, in broad way, okay, you need to mention all the things. What are the editor roles? One, what are the editorial guidelines, editor guidelines? What are the reviewer roles, reviewer guidelines, author roles, author guidelines? Everything you need to mention in publication ethics and malpractice statement. And also, it's better, please, if it is possible, please try to include the flow charts in your website to easily understand by the editors, reviewers, and authors related to publication ethics and publication malpractice statement. Okay, who should be nominated as a main handling editor of the journal? Okay, he should be expert in that particular research field. Okay, and they need to involved with the journal or its management to improve uh, the journal quality, overall quality, not only the articles, overall quality of the journal. And they need to suggest what are the best indexing databases are there to index uh, the journal and to get more visibility. uh, they need to, like, they have to involved in every aspect of the journal. Okay, and these are the additional resources for editors from Elsevier and publication ethics from publication ethics. If you go through this publication ethics website, you will get more information, different flow charts also. Based on your comfortability, you can modify the flow charts and you can use. And one more thing, to use the flow charts and to use the information from COPE or publicationethics.org, no need to become a member. If you become a member, it is good. For this purpose, no need to become a member. Okay, only for publication ethics and malpractice statement or for flowcharts, you can use all the information in their website itself. They mentioned you can use all the information and you can use the flowcharts also. You can modify the flowcharts. Modify means as per your process, your journal process. You can modify the flowcharts and you can include as how you want. Okay, and now I am going to explain some important things. Okay, what is a citation? Citation is nothing but whenever any article is published in your journal and it is referred or it is the one of the references in the other research paper, it is called as a citation. Okay, in the relevant field. Okay, relevant field or nearby field also is okay. If it is related to public health, and if some surgery journal or case reports journal referred this article, definitely it is a relevant field only. Okay, not only it should be only cited in only public health. No need like that. It can be cited by any of the relevant field. Okay, so it is a citation. For example, if I published a research paper in some XYZ journal and my paper is referred, just now I shown you, right, in cited by explained about one article. Okay, that IJEMR article is cited by two journals, two articles published in different journals, and that is a citation. Okay, and this is very much important for considering in Scopus. Okay, and citation, the number of citations in Scopus index journals also very much important. And H index. H index is set of most cited papers and the number of citations that they have received. Okay, for example, if the journal is published totally 200 papers till date, for just for example I am giving, till date totally 200 papers are published, and out of that 10 papers have got 10 or more citations. Okay, so the H index of the journal is 10. If in that journal, for example, 15 papers received more than 15 or equal to 15 citations, okay, the H index is 15. For example, there are 16 research papers are there, 15 research papers are there, okay, and they got 15 or more than 15. Okay, one more paper got only 14 citations, for example. This, whatever the article is, 14 citations are there, and that article got another 2 citations, and all remaining 15 articles also they got more than 16 citations. The H index will increase to 16. Okay, this is can be calculated. This H index can be calculated for author wise. Okay, author, how many number of papers published by the author and how many citations he or she is getting. Author wise also we can calculate the H index, and institution wise, for example, in one institution all authors are publishing the papers. Okay, based on all the articles we can calculate the H index for institution, and we can calculate the H index for country or journal. For journal we can calculate the H index in the same way by getting the information by site cross reference cited by services. We can get how many citations each article is getting, and based on that we can calculate for volume, that particular volume or that particular journal also we can calculate the H index. Okay, so if you give the details, all the details in Excel file, and if you sort it out number of citations uh, in descending order, you can easily come to know that what is the H index, how many research papers and how many citations. If you compare that, easily you can get the H index. Okay, and site score, this is given by Scopus, no other organization is giving site score. Okay, so site score, how the site score is calculated, the average number of papers published, uh, the average number of citations received in a calendar year by all items published in the journals in preceding 3 years. Okay, for example, if we consider 2020, 2017, 2018, 2019, all papers, they will take all papers published in these 3 years, and for these papers, okay, uh, for example, A number of papers are published in 2017 and B number of papers published in 2018 and C number of papers published in 2019 and 2020. For these total number of articles, okay, if we consider D number of articles published in these 3 years, and the citations of these papers only, not all the papers previous years, not 2016, 2015, all those things, only these 3 years, how many citations they are getting in 2020. Okay, site score is equal to X by D. X is number of citations in 2020 for only these articles. Okay, and divided by D, all the number of articles published in the preceding 3 years. This is site score. Coming to source normalized impact per paper, is it is defined as the ratio of journal raw impact per publication. Okay, number of citations. Okay, it is simply number of citations for a journal, uh, and number of citations for research paper. Okay, number of citations, for example, for research paper there are 10 citations, and for overall journal it is 200. Okay, 10 divided by 200, it will be 0.05, I think. Okay, so that is the source normalized impact per paper. Okay, SkyMago journal ranking. Okay, it is not only calculated by the quantitative measures, it will also calculated by qualitative and reputation of the journal. Okay, how the journal quality and how the content, uh, all those things, whatever the content selection advisory board, okay, they will give some score, and also based on the number of citations, all these things they will give journal, SkyMago journal ranking. Okay, so this is not only based on the quantitative data, this is also based on the qualitative data, the value of citations and prestige of citations and weightage, weighted overall citations, all these things. Okay, and we now I am going to present about a different type of journals, local or regional journal. uh, how Scopus will consider a particular journal, it is a local journal or a regional journal. I already quoted two reasons. The Scopus rejected some journals with localized approach and less citedness. Okay, localized approach means they have not diversified their authorship. Okay, the authors are not from different countries. They are mainly concentrating on within the country or within the research, or maybe the aim and scope of the journal is limited to certain region. Okay, and that type of journals can be considered as local or regional journals. Okay, for example, maybe see they are the journals are running internationally and they are getting few papers. Okay, it will not be considered as a local or regional journals, but definitely we need to diversify the authorship also of the journal, then only it can be considered as an international journal. Okay, and coming to institutional journals, Mainly, the institutions start the journal. The basic reason is to publish their own content from their own faculty members or their own research department. They want to publish their research papers, and they want to show their research work should be visible to the world. So that's why basically that is the point to start the journals. But some institutions, they are doing very good work, and like, they are limiting their number of publication within the organization is very less, maybe one paper per issue or something like that. They will limit number of papers. Okay, so the institutional journal, for example, if the institution in a journal run by a institution, and they are publishing only their institutional papers or nearby institutions or within the region or within the country, if they are publishing only those research papers, it will be considered as an institutional journal. And they may not select institutional journal if they are publishing only their institution papers or their association papers or their society papers, like this. Okay, and coming to international journal, what advisory board will consider the journal as a international journal. Okay, the aim and scope, or the aim and scope, the wider international scientific community. Okay, the aim and scope should be wider international community. It's not limited to a local or regional part. Okay, and they should diversify the authors, readers, and editorial board members as well. Readers, once we diversify the editorial board members and authors, definitely the readers also will come from different countries, and they will cite your articles. Okay, and the published content should also be in line with the stated aim and scope of the journal, uh, and be of the interest to international scientific community. Okay, and one more thing, the important note is that just adding a international in the journal name is not a international journal. Okay, if once you diversify the journal authorship as well as editorial board members, and once you are getting the readers from different countries, and if you are getting the citations, number of citations from different countries, then it will be called as international journal by this is Scopus guidelines. Okay, here, as I told you in the previous slide, how to diversify editorial board and authors. These are our tips from Clovermind Solutions, and as per my experience, when I faced different stages when I was working in publishing companies, uh, I implemented few things. Okay, it worked out for me. Okay, so those tips only I'm giving, the suggestions only I'm giving. Okay, contact editorial board members of other journals in the same subject, indexed in Scopus or very reputed journals. Contact them and request them to join as the editorial board members in your journals, uh, and also conduct webinars with editorial board members once in 3 months. Be in touch with all the editorial board members, and conduct webinars, or if it is possible, conduct some trainings. Okay, maybe if a particular editorial board member is expert in that particular research field, conduct one presentation or conduct one webinar only on training or some presentation related to that research. Okay, like, make them active and make them interactive, all the editorial board members, and any important information of the journal, please inform to them through email or through any other communication mode you are using. Please inform to them, so that they will feel very happy. Okay, and recently IOP publication, uh, they appreciated almost 1600 review members all over the world for their journals. Okay, So appreciated means they have given some certificates. He is the best reviewer in this research field. He is the best reviewer for the year. Like that, they appreciated almost 1600 reviewers. Okay, maybe you can, for example, if you are publishing different number of journals in different fields, definitely for every journal you can give he is the best reviewer for this year 2020. You can give one certificate or one communication, email communication also, it is fine. Okay, they will feel very happy, and they will involve in the editorial board meetings, and they will involve in suggesting you to improve the journal quality, all those things. And contact reputed authors of other journals in the same subject, contact them and invite their articles, or maybe uh, do some email campaigns to get the papers from them. So definitely you can diversify the editorial authorship. Okay, so if the author is very reputed, and he is for any paper he is publishing, if he is getting minimum 10 citations, and out of 10 citations 5 citations are in by Scopus Index journals, uh, request the research paper or invite research paper from them. Okay, definitely the number of citations will increase in Scopus Index journals, and there will be a more chance for you to index in Scopus. Okay, and with the editorial board members, not only just interaction once in 3 months, just conduct meetings, webinars to improve the journal quality and as well as standards. Okay, assign DVOIs for every article. It is very much important, the DVOI number. Whenever you changed any links of your articles, you can update with cross reference. Okay, and the author who is having the DOI number, or somebody cited the DOI number in their articles, the reader can reach easily, they can reach to your website. For example, if you are not assigning the DOI number, only your article link will be there. Whenever you are indexing your journal in other databases, okay, you will give your journal that particular PDF file or full text link. Okay, by assigning the DOI number, it will be a unique link, and if any time your website URL has been changed, you can update with cross reference, and it will be updated. The reader or author can easily navigate to your website, or they can come to your website, redirect to your website easily with the DOI link. Okay, so if you provide your own journal PDF files or full text article links in the indexing websites, if anything changed in future, for example your website is changed, or the format of the URL is changed, so it has been broken. Okay, there is no connection from the reader and your website. Okay, so if you assign the DOI numbers, if you change the URL format, or if you change the server, or if you change the website completely, again you can update the landing page links with the cross reference, and the author or reviewer, the reader uh, can come to that particular article. Okay, so that is very much important. And index your journal in reputed databases, not like fake impact factors. Okay, I don't want to name it, but I hope you know some there some fake impact factor website people may be contacting you to index in their databases. Okay, go through their website. Okay, how easily identify the fake impact factor websites? First, check their contact us page. If they are not providing their address, their phone number, or their email ID, it is completely fake. Okay, and one more thing, for every domain name, the website domain name, there will be a owner. Okay, so you can check who.is, that is who is database. Okay, so any domain name you can enter here. Okay, and you will get the data, who is the owner of that particular website. Okay, so check that. Okay, is that a company or a person? And one more thing, privacy protection will be there. If they are hiding their name in domain name, definitely it's a fake indexing website. Okay, don't fall for that. Don't fall for the fake indexing websites and fake impact factor websites. If you index there, okay, so index there, but don't display their logos. Once you display their logos, your reputation will go down. Okay, please be careful. I don't want to name any website or any indexing database, but please be careful while indexing your journals. And one more thing, if you are indexing in fake impact, if you know that it is a fake impact factor website, or if you know that if it is a fake indexing website, remove their logos from your website. Okay, so it is very much important uh, while when you submit your journal for Scopus indexing. Okay, and associate with foreign conferences to publish their research papers. For example, your journal is publishing in some country, and associate with the conferences. Um, Definitely some institutions or somebody organizing the conferences. Okay, associate with them to publish their research papers in your journal as a special issue or maybe in regular issue. Okay, because of that you will get more diversity of the authorship. Okay, the number of authors, the authors will be from different countries, because the conference, definitely to the conference they will come from different countries, and you will get more number of papers like that. Okay, and the coming to this is up to this self evaluation and some tips before submitting our journal into Scopus. Now we should know what is the process in Scopus. Okay. In 2009, as I already explained you, in 2009, Scopus formed a content selection advisory board. It is completely independent board. Okay, there is no um, uh, bias between Scopus. If Scopus tells you select this journal only, there is no bias like that. Okay, the board is independent and they can take their own decisions. Um, okay, and they can include and exclude the journals with the transparent and fair criteria. Okay, and second one is the overall process. Okay, the overall process, or whatever the software tool they are using for the journal evaluation, they named it as a Scopus title evaluation platform step. Okay, so once we submit the journal, it is a software. Step is a software, and software means it is a maybe one of web application. Okay, like Scopus indexing website. It will gather all the information from the journal, and citations also. How many citations from different sources? Okay, that software tool itself, it will collect from different sources for this particular journal how many citations they are getting, and those citations are Scopus index journals or other journals. Everything it will get the data. Okay, and publication ethics and malpractice statement. Um, the board introduced implementation of transparent publication ethics and malpractice policy for the all applicant journals in Scopus in 2010 and 11. In 10 and 11, the board is formed in 2009, and 10 and 11 they formed this policy, publication ethics and malpractice policy, and uh, they made it compulsory for every journal to be um, do this publication ethics and malpractice statement in their journals. Okay, and the board is increasingly exercised and with the issues around the recognition and the definition of predatory journals, and they're also working how predatory journals are working, and they are getting that type of information also to evaluate the journal. So maybe definitely they will try to submit a research paper to your journals also once you submit your journal, and they will see how you are processing your research papers, and how much time you are taking for the review process. All those things, definitely they will check. Okay. And content selection and advisory board, it is a group of scientists, international group of scientists, and who are experts in their respective field. And this CSAB comprises of 14 subject chairs. Okay, the broad areas like medicine, engineering, humanities, arts and humanities, social sciences, law. Okay, these different subject chairs will be there, 14 subject chairs. And under the 14 subject chairs there is a committee, individual committee for each subject area wise. For example, within the medicine, public health, case reports, or dermatology, gynecology, or coming to engineering, civil engineering, computer science engineering, electrical engineering, like this they will be having within the 14 subject chairs. Again they will be having subject experts. Okay, so they will review all the journals. And coming to STEP, Scopus Title Evaluation Platform, it is a software-based system which collects the key information about applicant journals, which simplify many aspects of the journal appraisal process for the subject chairs and their designated reviewers. Okay, so this STEP, it is a software-based system. It will collect most of the information, like how many citations they are getting, like how Google Scholar is crawling our journal data. Okay, you are publishing a journal and it is crawling the data. This is the journal, and this is the article published in this particular journal. Without indexing anything, without doing anything, the Google is crawling, how Google is crawling the data in the same way, or maybe they may be having a different approach. Definitely it will crawl the data from the web, about your journal, and also about number of citations you are getting, and it is from the Scopus indexed journals or other journals. It will gather all the information before the journal is going to the subject chairs. Okay, and then they will take the decision. For example, if the journal is not getting enough citations in Scopus indexed journals, initial in the immediately they will reject the content selection board. Immediately they will reject the journal if the authorship is not diversified. Immediately they will reject with the reasons. Okay, it is a localized approach or less citedness. These reasons they will give appropriate reasons. Okay, simply they will not give any reason. Appropriate reason they will give, and they will reject the journal without evaluating their content of the journal. Okay, and once we submit, for example, pre-population with the key information about the journal. This is the three steps in overall evaluation process. Further processing against standard criteria, that is nothing but collecting the information from the journals and websites, like gathering the data, traveling the data or gathering the data. They will gather the data and they will be having some statistics. Okay, and evaluation by the subject chair or nominated reviewers. If your journal is not meeting standard criteria, they will reject here only. Okay, they will not send to evaluation by subject chair, okay, or nominated reviewers. Okay, it is very much important to follow the Scopus guidelines and improve the journal quality, as well as diversify the editorial board and diversify the authorship. Okay, what will happen once the decision has been reached on suitability of the acceptance to the journal? It will communicate directly to the publisher or editor or other suggester. Okay, publisher can suggest the journal, editor can suggest the journal, or anybody can suggest the journal. Okay, if the journal is accepted, they will notify. uh, okay, and for example, if the journal is submitted, okay, immediately they will get an acknowledgement email that confirms that journal is suggested, and received and will be considered for the review. And the normally the review process of the journal in Scopus will take minimum 6 months to 12 months. They will take. Okay, journal will be checked to determine if the indeed eligible for Scopus review. If the journal is not accepted, as I explained in the previous slides, okay, if standard criteria, if the journal is not not fulfilling the standard criteria, they will reject in that stage only. If it is fulfilling the standard criteria, it will go to content selection board. Okay, as like journals are publishing the research papers, right? Once research paper is research paper has come, normally journal will do the plagiarism check. If it is not passed in the plagiarism check, they will reject. If it is passed in the plagiarism check, they will send to reviewer. In the same way, if it is not fulfilling the criteria, standard criteria, they will reject in that stage itself, and they will send the information to suggester or publisher or editor. If it is fulfilling that standard criteria, they will move on to content selection advisory report. Okay, and if the journal is eligible for Scopus review, all required information will be obtained and added to the file by Scopus. Okay, if any information is missing, they will contact the journal and they will get the information. Okay, once all information is complete and journal suggestion is fully enriched, okay, then they will send the journal to content selection and advisory board for the review purpose. Okay, and what are the main areas that considered by the Scopus CSAB review process? Okay, journal policy, convincing editorial concept or policy should be there, type of peer review should be there, diversity geographic distribution of editors, diversity of geographic distribution of authors. Already we discussed these points. Okay, and quality of content, academic contribution to the field, clarity of abstracts, quality and conformity with stated aim and scope. Okay, within the aim and scope, the article should be published, and readability of the articles, it should be in simple English language, and it should be easily readable to the reader. And journal standing, citedness of the articles in Scopus. Editor standing, editor standing means the editor should be expert, as I explained in previous slide. Editor should be expert and he should be published more number of papers, and he could have got some good number of citations. Okay, and regularity, no delay in publication schedule. If it is a quarterly journal, there is the delay should not be there. They have to publish the number of the particular issue that as per the publication schedule. Okay, online availability, content should be available online, and English language journal homepage should be in English language. Quality of the homepage, quality of the homepage is nothing but most of the information should be visible to the author in the homepage itself. That is very much important, and we should not give false information to the authors in the home not only in the home page, anywhere in the website. Okay, so all the information, any most of the links should be visible in the home page. That is very much important. If it is about author guidelines or reviewer guidelines, what is the publication fees, and what is the review process, if frequently asked questions, all the links. I am not saying that all the information should be available in home page. The links in home page itself, the author should access everything. Okay, that is very much important. Okay, what should the website information included? Okay, so the website should have editor or editor-in-chief and structure and names of the editorial board members, and if you have any international advisory board members, you should have those things, and author guidelines explaining the manuscript submission process, all those things, and information on how peer review process is organized. Okay, publishing ethics guidelines, and clear information about criteria and cost of open access options, information about how potential readers can get the access of full text articles, information about role and organization of the publisher of the journal. These things I already discussed these points. That's why I'm not explaining these points. Okay, what are the main decision made by Scopus? Okay, it is accepted or rejected. Only two decisions they will take. They may accept the journal or they may reject the journal. Okay, if it is accepted, what will happen? I will explain in the next slide. If, for example, if the decision is rejected, okay, they will give the uh, reviewer comments to support the decision. They will give comments to support their decision on rejection, and they will give the end date will be given after when the title may suggest again for the Scopus review, resubmission date. Okay, I will explain those things also, how they will give all those things. In case of rejection, a conditional embargo date will be given after which the journal title may suggested for the Scopus review again. Okay, so for example, if they reject the journal, they will give the embargo date. Okay, so the embargo period can be ranged from 1 year, 18 months, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. If just I will tell you, I will explain a little more about this one. For example, one journal is submitted for Scopus review, Scopus indexing, and they rejected the journal. Um, they will give time. Okay, 1 year. After 1 year you can submit again. After 18 months you can submit again. After 2 years you can submit again, or after 3 years you can submit again, or after 5 years you can submit again. How they will decide this time frame? Okay, it is depends on how long reviewers think, the content selection and advisory board think that how much time uh, before next evolution, okay, feedback can be addressed and take effect. Okay, for example, they have given localized approach. The reason is localized approach. Okay, so to avoid that, to localized approach, we need to diversify the editorial board, and as well as we need to diversify the authorship. Okay, they will think, okay, it may take 1 year or 18 months or 2 years to take effect of this. Okay, they will suggest as per that 1 year, 18 months or 2 years, like that. Okay, if they think that less citations, okay, the journal is started just 2 years back, 2 or 3 years back, and they submitted the journal, and they don't have many number of citations in Scopus Index journal, but the content, everything is okay, content quality is good, everything is good. They may give 1 more year. Okay, next year you can submit for the evaluation. Okay, so this is completely content selection and advisory board decision, how much embargo period they will give. Okay, how long does the journal stay in Scopus database? Okay, so this whole information I kept for presentation purpose and information purpose. Once I share these slides, you will go through this presentation. That's why I kept it. I will explain in simply. Okay, first of all, if after completing 2 years, you will submit your journal for Scopus indexing. Okay, once the journal is selected for Scopus indexing in the third year, okay, third year content will be included, as well as back 2 years content also will be included in Scopus. Okay, and every year they will be doing the review process. Okay, for example, it is 2020 and you submitted your journal now. They will consider 2020 and 2019, 2018. Okay, these 3 years you published, and all back issues also they will ask to index in Scopus. 2018, 2019, 2020 will be indexed in Scopus. For example, in 2021, they discontinued your journal. Only these 3 years, first 3 years data only will be available in Scopus. 2021 data will not be available in Scopus. Again, they may give the time once they discontinued your journal. Again they will give the time 2 years, 3 years, or 5 years, or 1 year, again to improve the quality of the journal or to improve certain areas. Again they will give embargo time, and after that again you can apply. At that time, if the journal is selected, for example, in 2025, the journal is selected again. From there, the indexing is available. 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, these 4 years, the data will not be available in Scopus. Okay, those articles also you cannot include in Scopus. Okay, that is the whole explanation about this particular information. Okay, and there is a possibility of the journal. Once your journal is indexed in Scopus, there is no guarantee that your journal will be available in Scopus indefinitely or continuously. Okay, every year they will do the review of the journals, all the journals, and they will evaluate as per the data, all those things, the standard criteria, and content selection and advisory board. They will do the review. If your journal is not performing well, or if your journal is not following the quality standards, they will remove from the Scopus indexing. Okay, this is also very much important. And few publishers, very few, I think one or two publishers, uh, they contacted me. Okay, their journal is discontinued from Scopus after indexing for 1 or 2 years. Okay, so maybe some reasons, maybe quality reasons, or some reasons, definitely that the journal can be removed from Scopus indexing. Okay, so after indexing in Scopus, it is very much important to maintain all the guidelines and all the quality of the articles, and diversification of authorship and editorial board. Everything is important. Whatever you followed till date, it is indexed in Scopus, and again you have to follow the same thing. And once the journal is indexed in Scopus, you should be very careful while selecting the articles, and also while publishing the articles. And if you get any copyright infringements from other organizations, you should take action immediately and remove that research paper if it is confirmed that the paper is copied from somewhere. Okay, you should be very careful once your journal is indexed in Scopus to avoid the discontinuation of your journal. Okay, so this is the slide I explained you. Okay, so after being indexed in Scopus, is there a possibility that a journal might still be removed from Scopus? Yes, there is a possibility. uh, if you don't follow the guidelines, and if you don't follow the quality standards, all those things. Okay, I know some journals, they discontinued from Scopus by increasing the number of papers after indexing in Scopus. Okay, so the journal is indexed in Scopus, and they increase the number of publications in the next year itself, almost 10 times in compared to previous years. Okay, so if you do like that, definitely the quality of the publication and the number of citations, everything will go down. And in the standard criteria itself, your journal will not select, and your journal will be discontinued. Okay, once your journal is indexed in Scopus, you should be more careful about the quality of the journal as well as quantitative data also. Okay, what if the title has been rejected for Scopus inclusion? Reviewer decision is final, will not be reconsidered until communicated embargo period has been passed. Okay, so if the journal is rejected, and there is no reconsideration of the evaluation, okay, till embargo period is completed. For example, if once the content selection and advisory board has taken decision of 1 year, okay, till another 1 year you cannot submit or you cannot ask for reconsideration of your journal. If they give 2 years time, for 2 years you cannot ask for the reconsideration. Okay, Scopus team cannot overrule or change the result of CSAB's decision, because of CSAB is independent. Okay, they cannot overrule their decision. Okay, so definitely Scopus will not do any bias or something like that. Okay, and one more important point I did not include in the presentation. For example, once your journal is submitted for Scopus evaluation, if it is rejected and they have given the embargo period, and again you have submitted for second time evaluation, if the second time also if your journal is rejected, it will not be included in Scopus anymore. You cannot suggest your journal again and again. Okay, so if they give in any chance, if they give embargo period again after second evaluation also, you can submit your journal. Mostly Scopus will not give embargo period in the second evaluation. Okay, so we should be very careful while submitting our journal for the second time. Okay, can publisher question the review decision? Okay, definitely. If you get, for example, if the journal is rejected, if you want to question, you can question with the uh, proper data. Okay, for example, if they give the reason less citedness, you know that the number of citations are more in Scopus indexed journals. Okay, you can question them with the data, and you can question them with the proper information. Then you can question them, and if they consider that information is valid, they will reconsider the journal evaluation, and they will review the journal again. And if the journal is acceptable for Scopus indexing, they will accept. Okay, for example, if they rejected the journal and with the proper information you submit the assessment again, they will evaluate the data, it is valid or not. If they feel that the data is valid, they will reconsider the journal for evaluation, and in that reconsideration, if the journal is accepted for the inclusion, definitely they will include in Scopus. Okay, now it is time for you. You can ask questions.